kind of a funny story involved in this vehicle. This is an old Jeep Wagoneer, and they're excellent vehicles. And I bought this many years ago. In fact, what happened here, I got it stuck 21 years ago, because that's the last year it was licensed. And I have never bothered to get it out of here. Now, obviously it was running when I got it stuck, but it's been sitting here in this stream bottom for that long. And she's right down to the frame. So I'm going to have to get the tractor down here and try to lift it out, kind of. You know, because it's kind of in an awkward spot, it's kind of in the way. And actually, like I say, the vehicle ran. One of the main reasons I want to get it out of here is after I'd driven this for a few years, the transmission went out. Now I got a hatred for automatic transmissions. It happens to be a Turbo 400 in this. Well, I had a Turbo 400 out of my dad's old 69 Caprice Chevrolet that I put in here. Because they, you know, it's the same transmission. Well, after this got stuck, or even before this got stuck, I had already bought a different vehicle. I had an 80 Suburban, 3/4 ton, you know, big tank of a thing. So I didn't really need this. I never bothered to get it out. And the one time I came down here, well, you know, when I got it stuck, then it ran out of gas. Then the battery died, and the tires were going flat. So and it was in summer, and then there was wasps inside of it. You know, so I didn't even want to monkey with it. So it's been sitting all this time. But there really isn't a lot wrong with it, you know. So I thought, well, the problem is now, that old Suburban that I have, the only thing wrong with that is the transmission is out of it. And like I say, hate automatic transmissions, but it's a Turbo 400 again. So if I want to, I can pull this transmission out of it and put it in that Suburban. It'll bolt right in. Though, like I say, there really isn't anything wrong with this, except that it's stuck. And, you know, the battery was dead and all that. And it's funny, you know, when I go looking, I had tried to get it out. I find pieces of broken tow rope, hooks and stuff hanging on the back bumper. I had tried, but once you get down to the frame, you're really stuck. And I put a new battery in it now, and I was monkeying around just to see if I could even get it to turn over. But if you jump the solenoid, you just get a click. Okay, I think what happened, I think the starter is actually low enough since it's sunk down in the ground. I got water in the starter, or ice now. And it could very well be around the flywheel too. You know, it could be locked up solid. So I'm going to have to get it out of here first, and then air up all the tires. Though these tires weren't very old, you know, it's got a lot of tread on them. Maybe it protected them being down in the mud. Well, this one ain't completely flat either. She's got a little life in it. But I'm going to have to. So it's too cold today, I think. I'm going to put a handyman jack under it and see if I can't lift it up and at least get it broken loose. But I don't want it, if it's too cold, I could do a lot of damage just trying to lift it out when it's this cold, when everything slows down. Because she's really settled. And the stream used to run right through here. Now the stream has kind of moved over that way. So I've got a little bit of room to work with here. But I think I can get the tractor down here, get the loader underneath, lift the back end up and kind of pull it. But I was hoping I could get it running, you know, before I even get out here. But like I say, I think it's all froze up underneath. But it ran when it was parked here. Not willingly parked here, but as you can see, I mean, the trees have grown up around it. They weren't here when I put it here. You know, this is. But I just got it into my head. I think it's a 72 or a 74. But these didn't change for a lot of years either. But they are an excellent vehicle. A Wagoneer is actually a tough machine. You will have, you know, all the trinkety kind of stuff, you know, like your trim and all that, that'll all fall off. But mechanically, they're a very solid vehicle. You know, I drove this one, like I say, for years. Even on long trips, I mean, it worked fine. So, it's worth. Well, I got to get out of here because if nothing else, it's worth getting that transmission out of there. Or if I could find another Jeep, and I kind of know where there is one. It's not the Wagoneer, it's the shorter version, but it'd be the same motor that would go in that. But I really prefer straight stick. I mean, automatics, in every vehicle that I've had with an automatic, that is what killed it in the end, was the tranny went out. I've got an assortment of vehicles sitting there with bad trannies. I know this transmission's good, so it's worth getting the vehicle out of here. Which is going to take a little maneuvering. But I think, well, I don't know if I dare jack on that bumper. I'll try jacking on the back on the trailer hitch and see if I can't get it to lift up some, but which is a project. But actually, I was kind of thinking she might even run, but no, she didn't want to turn over. But I can see, you know, it's sunk down so far. She's plumb full of. I'm glad to see the wiring all appears to be intact, because there's a lot of acorn holes in here, and that usually means squirrels have been going around underneath, and I have had vehicles where they chewed the wiring out of them, just for the hell of it. I mean, even spark plug wires, they'll chew them right off. So a lot of times, if I leave a vehicle sit for any length of time, I'll open the hood on it. They won't bother if the hood is open. Otherwise, you get like woodchucks and stuff, they get under there, and they'll just chew everything up. But she's going to be a job. More of a job than I really want, but I think I can get the tractor. I think at the time when it got stuck, I didn't even have a tractor. I think I had that Suburban, and I was trying to pull it with the Suburban, and that's where I got this collection of broken tow ropes. But if nothing else, if I can jack it up, break it loose, I've got these little elm trees here that I can hook one of them power poles to, you know, that come along. I can get a little pressure on them. So I can work it out, but there's so many of these little trees grew up around it, it's going to be a little job snaking it out of here. I guess if I can get it back, get some air in them tires, I can slide the front end around, then I can go that way with it. She's settling in, going back to nature. I got to do something with her. But I better pull this battery out of here. The battery that was in here is shot, and it's kind of bulgy, so I think, you know, there was no spark there. But, you know, a battery isn't going to hold power for that long. But there's, like I say, a lot of good parts on this. And if I remember right, this motor didn't use any oil, and it was always a good starter. And they're not bad to work on. They're kind of an odd, you know, I think it's a 360, but they've got like a Chevy type distributor, but it's in the front, so it's easy to work on. And then they have a Ford type starter where you've got the starter relay up on top here. Makes it easier to work on rather than the Chevy where it's buried underneath. So they kind of got the best of all worlds. You know, they got a lot going for them. Oh. There's a little WD-40 in the hood. I'm surprised they got the hood open. But have to monkey around. I'll have to bring the generator and the air compressor down here to get the tires aired up. And maybe if I aired them up, she'd lift her. But boy, she's down. She's really down. She just, you know, because I had her. It takes a lot to get these stuck, and I had her really stuck. And then sitting for 20 years, 21 years, I think she's just settled a little bit more. But if I can get out here without completely destroying it, you know. But I wouldn't mind, you know, if I ever ran across an old Wagoneer like this again. They're a nice vehicle. They aren't really easy on gas, but they drive down the road nice. You know, they're built like a tank. It's all the little stuff that breaks on them. You know, like they got a power back window, that all screws up on them. And you got to have the window down to get the gate open. But aside from all the trinkety stuff, the basic unit, they're a good solid unit. I was very fond of this. Ugly color, but drove nice. You know, like I said, I've been on like 400-mile trips with this. Never gave me a lick of trouble. And that was shortly before I got it stuck. You know, so she's worth getting out again. Because I can't see that the water could have done too much damage underneath. You know, you might screw your starter up. But like your tranny, that's all sealed up. Everything, it could get around the torque converter, around the flywheel and freeze, but I don't know that it would hurt anything there. So she should come out of there. Well, that'll be the hardest part about getting it going, just physically getting the machine out of here. But I think I'll take the handyman jack and see what happens. But she's going to be a project. I don't really need a project. I got plenty of projects going. But just have to think. That baby's just laying there doing nothing. Get a cord up, but God, she's sunk out in there. But you can see, like, the stream is way over there now, and the stream used to be right here. You know, and that's what really settled her. You get water running around it, she's going to go down. But I was down to the frame anyway. She is very stuck. But they're a good old vehicle. But like I said, the one that guy, well, actually, he's the guy I got this one from originally. He had another one, a brown one that was a two-door, the shorter version, that our old mail carrier used to drive. And I think he still got that. And between the two of them, you know, don't need it, which is obviously why it's sat here for 21 years, but still, it's always cool to have an option like that.